Go.
That was a lot of rage. How you stab the eyes.
Oh.
That's what I was saying.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. And, thank you for the ice.
You're welcome.
Rory, right?
Yes.
Nailed it. I can nail it when I'm not from that. There's too many things to think about. Ready for? Ready for? Oh, I always forget that when I do this little check, right? Where's the note that goes in my bra? Uh-oh, can't find it. Where's the?
I feel like this is such Parisian vibes, London.
There's always this panic, like if I do this before the show, where I can't find the folded up note that goes in my bra. And it's always at the bottom of the pocket, and it just semi-freak out. You're welcome.
All good, all good.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Is this thing out?
Is this thing working?
Yeah, there's only 8 left.
I was gonna say only 1 week. I didn't realize how fast it had gone by.
God, I'm excited to sleep.
I kind of wish I had like 2 or 3 days off for the last 8. You know, like,
I was gonna say a lot of shows have like just 1 or 2 days off sprinkled out throughout the month, but you're going straight, right?
but I took Tuesdays off.
Oh, okay, that's nice at least.
Yeah, one of my shows that started from the 31st to the 36th. One Wednesday off. And that was it.
So you do multiple shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He's
the
a-
first.
he's a mercenary.
So the first. Not mercenary, but freelance. So the first 11 days I'll do 5 shows a day every day for 13 hours.
I've been getting the best possible James Hyde, like,
Yeah.
James Bond.
So currently I'm free as of tomorrow and looking forward to the rest of the training until things like die at the end.
Is it all in the same area?
It's all in the centre. I mean, this is the only one that's on the centre. Everything else is in it.
Wow.
So it's not, you know.
No.
And this is like close to the bridge.
Yeah. Yeah. Because doing works out in several different days.
No. Yeah.
If you're repairing it for what, 7 years now? Like, fuck off. It's ridiculous. Like, I barely remember what it was. Like, I do remember it being an actual road that you could walk on both sides.
Yeah, that's the bridge has been like that for a while, hasn't it?
Here, it's so over budget, it's so overdue. Because basically every time what they do is they do half of it. And then they find a problem, and then like, oh crap, we need to check it on the other side. And then they find out the problem is on the other side, they fix that, and then they find another problem on the other side, and then they swap it back over, and then they find out there's a problem on the other side. And then they've basically been doing that for the past 7 years.
Well, even in this past year that I've lived here, I think they've switched it 2 or 3 times already.
Yeah. Because it's like, oh yeah, and then they make the road new again, because they're like, yeah, we're ready, let's go.
Hello.
Hi.
You're in the speakeasy.
Yeah, this is it.
How lovely. Oh, yeah, I'll do it. Otherwise, what are you doing? 5 past G&T, single G&T. Just see what they've got.
Hiya, I'd like a gin tonic, please.
Single or double?
Just a single, I think she wants.
Anything else?
I'd like a glass of prosecco, or is it bottle here, or a glass, or
We can get a glass, I think.
or a little bottle?
I'm pretty sure it's a lovely check. Let's see if one's open.
Well,
Yeah, I can make the glass.
Après, ils ont des genres de jus d'orange. Non, les deux, elles ont un peu de place. Ou attends, c'est trop bas. À la table.
let me just test if that's busy enough.
Yeah. So is it just the gin and tonic or that?
Oh no, I'd like a glass of prosecco, but not that one.
Well, I can't order a new bottle just for that. You can try going up to the main bar to see if they'll open
No.
it.
Thank you. I'll have a glass of dry white wine, please.
White wine, you said?
Yeah.
Small or large?
Small.
Well, the performance, can you sit here and have a drink?
Yes.
T'es sûr que tu veux rien? Un verre de blanc, quelque chose? Un rouge?
Thank you.
C'est pas mal avec les fauteuils. Hein? Je pense pas qu'il y ait du champagne, c'est du prosecco. Et la dame, elle avait l'air de dire qu'il était pas bon. Elle a goûté, elle a dit. Ok, je vais lui demander.
No, did you tap it? Yeah, I did. There we go.
Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
Lots and box.
The prosecco is flat.
Red wine, do you have? Okay, glass of red wine is on top. Thank you, madam.
What kind of red wine?
Do you have, which one is the strongest one you have? Well, one of the house. One of the house. Yeah, one of the house. Small. Small, enfin, verre normal, quoi. And a small beer as well.
What kind of beer would you like?
A blonde one.
We have like 2 lagers, we have a tenants, and then we have the house.
The house.
Smaller size of the wine?
Small, yeah.
Large?
Small, no? Small. We don't do that in Switzerland. In France.
Whereabouts in France are you from?
I mean, I'm from Paris and she's from Switzerland.
Oh, very nice. How long are you guys here?
Just for the weekend. I want a small. Huh? This one is small?
Did you want like half?
Yeah, half. Yeah, half. Sorry, I mean you can.
No, you're so fine.
Well, hello, you lovely people. Seeing as this show is about my brain, I thought I'd give you a bit of insight as to what's going on inside of mine right now. Oh my God, I'm like so accident prone yesterday after the show. I was just stepping off the stage and I twisted my ankle and did a face plant into the front row. If you're in the front row, you might want to move back one just in case. I arrived in Edinburgh and I had my accommodation planned for like months in advance, paid 50% deposit, went to the place, the windows would not open and they were frosted and it smelled of Febreze. I could not breathe. And then I found out it was above a male brothel. And that male brothel didn't even get a good review on Grindr. Like, oh my goodness, dirty and the glory holes suck. And I mean, they don't suck. They suck. No, they don't suck. No, it's horrible. Anyway, I'm having to wear a bra. I let the girls fly free during the pandemic, but alas, no. When you're up on stage, you know, it's just a bit too, you know, I just can't get away with it. But you know, who invented this shit? The same guy who invented mammograms, probably, because that flat shit where they squish your boobs, yeah, that's always fun. Love that. Love that for me. And oh yeah, oh, my ankle is twisted, so I'm gonna be like favoring it. If I look like I'm hobbling on stage, it's because I am. We gotta love this stuff, but you know what? I can always fucking sing. And so yeah. Before I enter to a huge round of applause, that's your cue when you do that. And I might start myself up going out a little bit sooner than I normally do, because I'm feeling a little bit geriatric. Oh, and I'm Gen X, so I've got Teflon brain. I know shit's just gonna happen now. Normally I run up to the stage. That's not happening today. Oh yeah, Gen X, Teflon brain. This is what the paper's for later. But hey, welcome. Ah, thank you. Okay, now you know life is crummy, so now you know. Big surprise, people love you and tell you lies. Bricks can tumble from clear blue skies. Put your dimple down, now you know. Okay, there you go, that's the sum of it, now you know. It's called flowers wilt, it's called apples rot, it's called thieves get rich and saints get shot. It's called God don't answer prayers a lot. Okay, now you know. Okay, now you know. Now forget it, don't fall apart at the seams. It's called letting go your illusions and don't confuse them with dreams. If the going's slow, don't regret it and don't let's go to extremes. It's called what's your choice, it's called count to 10. It's called burn your bridges, start again. You should burn them every now and then or you'll never grow. Because now you grow, that's the killer is now you grow. You're right, nothing's fair and it's all a plot. And tomorrow doesn't look too hot, right? You better look at what you've got over here. Hello. Okay, now you know. Okay, now you know. Now forget it. Don't fall apart at the seams. It's called letting go your illusions and don't confuse them with dreams. If the going's slow, don't regret it and don't let's go to extremes. It's called what's your choice, it's called count to 10. It's called burn your bridges, start again. You should burn them every now and then or you'll never grow. Because now you grow, that's the killer, is now you grow. You're right, nothing's fair and it's all a plot. And tomorrow doesn't look too hot, right? You better look at what you've got over here. Hello. Oh, okay, now you know, right? God, I love this Saturday crowd. You've already got drinks out. This is fabulous. It's Edinburgh. People have come in and not been having any drinks at all. Maybe even having a coffee. I don't know what this is. It was like a full English. What's that? And then I was thinking full Scottish. And I was just kinky, went straight for the kilt thing. But oh no, it's a real thing. It has haggis in it. So I'm going to have one at one point. Oh my goodness, I'm so rude. Hello, my name is Michelle Caleri. Don't, yeah, hello. Don't let the accent fool you. My passport says I'm Irish. But I did grow up in California, and I spent a lot of time in New York. And yeah, does anybody have an idea what an ambitious underachiever is? Yeah. I mean, I'm not really sure. It just I came up with the title, and the director hated it. I'm like, yeah, I'm sticking with the title, I really like it. Because it's A, it goes to the beginning of the catalog. But yeah, no, I have a theory on what ambitious underachiever is. And if I have to wear a bra, at least I can use it for storage, which is a really good thing. And I recycle. Clearly, this is not important what's on the back side at all. Okay, here's my theory. Number 3, it's laughing at myself whilst failing at my lofty aspirations. Number 2, it's what my brain says I am, no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try. And number 1, it's the constant effort, a relentless quest to evolve. And yet when you do have a quote-unquote success, it feels like you've never really arrived. Yeah, so at the beginning of this year, I had a fixed-term contract at Sky as a senior producer. And I was filling in for someone on sabbatical. My team got me a bottle of Malbec and a card. The person I filled in for, we had a weekend over, she got me a bottle of bubbly and a card. The whole greater team got me a card. A resource manager got me a huge box of green and black chocolates and a card. And I walked away going, yeah, I'm not sure they liked me. But there was a time when I thought of myself as epically talented, and I just knew I was going to be this massive, awesome success. But that all changed in an instant, because once upon a time, long ago, in a land far, far away, across the pond and across the continent, I hit a windshield really hard, which left me with a traumatic brain injury, or as I prefer to say, a few fry short of a Happy Meal. But we're not there yet. I used to visit all the very gay places, those come what may places, where one relaxes on the axis of the wheel of life to get the feel of life from jazz and cocktails. The friends I knew had sad and solid gray faces with disengaged races that used to be there. You could see where they'd been washed away by too many through the day 12 o'clock tales. Then you came along with your siren song to tempt me to madness. I thought for a while that your poignant smile was tinged with the sadness of a great love for me. I was wrong. Again, I was wrong. Okay, so aside from knowing that I'm Irish with a weird accent, you may not know who I am. I'm a triple threat, award-winning, super big deal in New York City in the cabaret and jazz circles. Yes, and clearly I have, my entire life has been on the quest for getting somewhere fabulous, but arriving nowhere special, except for here, right now with you people. But there was a time long ago in California when I was starting out, that I had my first paid acting job in a musical right out of high school, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one, and then the director cast his girlfriend in the role. And I'm like, well, you can hide bad acting, but you can't hide bad musicianship. So at the age of 19, I decided to study music at university. I actually couldn't read music. I could read the notes in treble clef, and that was kind of it. But I wanted to get a jazz degree, so I went to the only university that had a jazz degree. I auditioned, I got in, and then I found out that you had to pay for your lessons if you were a jazz major, but you got your classical lessons free. So I decided to audition for the classical department. I never had any training, lots of musical, lots of band, lots of everything, no training. And so I went with a piano player to the practice room, and we're going through the 24 Italian songs in Aria's book. He's playing, I'm like, I don't know it, I don't know it, I don't know. Ooh, that one, I know that one, let's do that one. I walk into the audition, it's a tenor aria. The entire voice faculty laughed their asses off at me, and then gave me the best opera coach they had, who was associated with Opera San Jose. But she was like, breathe, honey, breathe. What do you want to do? Sing jazz or be in my studio and be a coloratura at the Met? I'm like, honestly? Yeah, I didn't really want to be a coloratura. She was a bitch. Oh my goodness, she was horrible. But I was dedicated to becoming a really good entertainer, so I was taking also dance classes at university. And there was a teacher there who had been on Cats and in Chorus Line on Broadway, and she had an awesome vocal technique, and I actually learned to use my voice with good effect from her. So I learned to sing mostly, I mean, I did do some opera stuff with the other chick, let's be fair, but honestly, using how to use my voice was actually taught by a dance teacher. Woohoo! Also at the time, I was working in a folk rock duo. We were at the fabulous Fillmore in San Francisco, and Bill Graham had lots of folks involved in shows. I did the pre-show opener for the Finn Brothers, and Sean Colvin, and Tom Petty. But one of the nice things that the promoter did was he sit everybody down for like a family-style dinner, the famous artists and the people working in the venue. And yeah, so we're having dinner, and I'm walking with my tray of food, and there's Tom Petty with his stage gear on, ready to go to the concert. And I trip, because clearly I do that a lot. I trip with a tray of food, but he flings it off. It lands in Bill Graham's lap, thankfully. But yeah, that was the end of that gig. Thank you very much. And I had a really fabulously yummy Latino boyfriend, and a hair in front of my face. His name was Sam Valdez. He was a software engineer, and he was also a fabulous rock climber. He taught me how to rock climb, so I climbed Half Dome in Yosemite, and he took me a lot of foreign films, and so I learned about foreign films. But at a certain point in our relationship, he's like, you know what, I don't want to break up, but I think we should see other people. And I'm like, nah. But he was really yummy, and I didn't really want to give him up. I mean, self-respecting, I probably should have, but I'm like, how do I make this work? I know. I'll have a harem. And so I did. The entire 4 years of our relationship. It was Brad and Gus and Don and Paul and Fred and a load of guest appearances. Yeah. So this scattergun approach to my life kind of worked for the most part. I mean, I just kept trying things, and things didn't work, I would pivot. So I kept trying, pivot. And it was mostly working for me, because if I didn't get exactly the thing I want, if something would stick, and I was getting ahead. And this is my theme song. Whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. And little man, little Lola wants you, and you, and you, and you. Make up your mind to have no regrets. Recline yourself, resign yourself, you're through. I always get what I aim for, and your heart and soul is what I came for. Whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. Take off your coat, don't you know you can't win? You're no exception to the rule. I'm irresistible, you fool. Give in. There was a dance break in here. I always get what I aim for, and your heart and soul is what I came for. Whatever Lola gets. Take off your coat. Don't you know you can't win? You're no exception to the rule. I'm irresistible, you fool. Give in. Give in. it's always good to have an arsenal of those kind of tunes. We refer to them as 11 o'clock numbers. But if you're rocking up to a 20-minute brunch set just for tips, you like to load those kind of songs in because they get people going and tipping and blah, blah. But I haven't actually used it in a show for quite a long time, decades in fact. Because the last time I used it in a show, I remembered that I got done with the gig, I packed up my gear, I got a coffee from the venue, and took my stuff and went into my car, packed that up, and I was going down the hills of San Francisco, Franklin, and then down Macoupin, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see a blue blur, this blue thing. And this blue blur hits my 1970s VW beautiful yellow bug and me. I'm flying over the steering wheel. My forehead hits the rear view mirror, then the windshield. I twist around, which jams the stick shift into my hip. I fall, hitting the glove box on the way down, which dents the back of my head. I collapse on the floor. There's more crashing, shouting, but it's not my car. It's the sound of metal on metal. Is this a pileup? How many other vehicles has the blue blur hit? Is this how I die? Is that blood or coffee? Someone's talking to me. The light is so bright, my hip and my head are searing. I'm out of the car, laying on a gurney. It's sunny. Why is it sunny? It's San Francisco. There are clouds overhead. What's the shape of clouds? I'm rolling on a gurney, then in the ambulance, then rolling on the gurney through the hospital. I'm complaining about the pain, and someone puts morphine into my arm, which feels like someone grabbing me from the scruff of my neck. I can't breathe. Shit, I must be allergic to morphine. Stop telling me to breathe. You should have asked if I wanted morphine. What? Blue blur. I don't know. Blue blur. I don't know. I had a green light. Stop asking me questions. Blue blur. Look, I feel really muddy-headed. I feel really muddy-headed. So I got nothing from doctors, very little. I kept saying that I felt anxious and in a fog and tried to describe that I couldn't talk very well, could see very well, hear very well, but it was difficult to articulate. And so they kept saying, oh, you're fine, it's just post-concussive depression and anxiety. I'm like, yeah, I've got that. But I've also got this, like, I'm muddy-headed. I don't feel right. I just don't feel right. I remember sitting on my bed, looking out the bay window, watching the sun cross the sky the entire day. Just stuck. I couldn't move. Now, if the phone rang, I could answer that and go hello, because that was like a repetitive motion that I kind of knew. Like, you know when the phone rings, you go hello. But to try to initiate anything, I just would get stuck. So I was booked in to see a head specialist of some sort, and we're in the examination with her, and for some reason she focuses on my heart. She goes, I think you have a heart murmur. I'm like, I'm here for my head. Yes, I'm going to send you to a cardiologist. I'm like, okay. So I go to the cardiologist, and I go in, and they first give you an echocardiogram, and I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever heard, because it was just all these sounds, and they did a bunch of filters, and I'm like, wow, I kind of want that. I think I want to use it for something at some point. So anyway, I'm in waiting for the cardiologist. I've got the gown on. He comes in, pulls open the gown, flops my boobs over my shoulder, sticks a cold stethoscope here, and I'm like, hey, hey, hey! Did you maybe want to say hello first? There is a person attached to the boobs and the heart and everything. And he was like, oh, sorry. And I'm like, yeah, well, and then I emotionally blackmailed him into letting me come in to record my echocardiogram again so I could have it. Yeah. And so I remember I had that sound, and then I was sitting on a stoop waiting for a friend to come home. Again, one of these things where I'm sort of frozen in time. And I still was having difficulty talking, but I could write. And I wrote these lyrics. Life has a pendular quality. J'aime bien tes caresses précieuses. Is it that we don't trust conformity? Maybe it's just one day of blue. Maybe it's just one day. Maybe just one day. Maybe just one day of blue. Maybe it's just one day. Maybe just one day. Maybe just one day of blue. The idiot savant of the psychic world. For him, the city is sleepless and cruel. Doesn't know the color of his parachute. Maybe it's just one day of blue. Maybe it's just one day, maybe just one day, maybe just one day of blue. Maybe it's just one day, maybe just one day, maybe just one day of blue. Suicidal Pollyanna sits on a step, sipping from a jagged glass half full. Excruciatingly lonely, she wants to be brave. Maybe it's just one day of blue. Maybe it's just one day, maybe just one day, maybe just one day of blue. Maybe it's just one day, maybe just one day, maybe just one day of blue. Just one day of blue. Just one day of blue. So it's weeks later, and I'm picking glass, set on my forehead, and if I'm honest, that was kind of fun, kind of like picking zits, or what do you call them, spots, but like more fun. A little bit bloody, gross, yeah, whatever, okay, sorry. But yeah, I realized that I was still feeling kind of crappy, but people kept saying I was fine, and you know, if you're not working, you don't have any money. And in America, money's really important, as is having a job so you can have health insurance. So I figured, okay, I need to go back to my regular work. It's my regular gig at the Mason Street Wine Bar, and I sing there. And I walk in, and I kept trying to articulate, I feel money-headed, I don't feel like me. But yeah, it's a fucking wine bar. They're all drinking. They're kind of like, whatever. They probably thought I was drinking too. Anyway, so the band starts playing, and I'm gathering myself to get ready to do a set, and I'm like, oh yeah, this old chestnut. Yeah, this hair in my face. I'm gonna, you know. Yeah, we know this one. All right, all right. I could while away the hours, conferring with the flowers, consorting with the rain. And my head I'd be scratching while my thoughts were busy hatching. If I only had a brain. If I only had a brain. If I only had a brain, only had a brain, only had a brain, only had a brain. Once is wrong, three times is jazz. Only had a brain. Oh, I could tell you why the ocean's near the shore. Yeah, I could think of things I never thought before. If I only had a brain. If I only had a brain. If I only had a brain, only had a brain, only had a brain, only had a brain. If I only had a brain. If I only had a brain, only had a brain, only had a brain. Yeah, so that was better than what actually actually happened. What actually happened is the intro played and I went, yeah, nothing happened. So I realized that the singing thing wasn't going to work for a job. And I kind of thought, oh my goodness, I've lost my spark, I've lost my intelligence, I've lost everything, and I'm still money-headed. But you know what? You still need a job, and you still need some money. So I had been working at hotels when I went to university, so I think I'll leverage my front office skills and I'll get a job. So I applied for this role at Trademark Graphics, which was a creative production company. And I walked in, because you know, I'm still picking at the glass thing, because it's fun. And I've got a bandage on and I've got a cup of coffee in my hand. And I walk in and I said, yeah, I've hit my head recently, and I can't really think straight without the coffee. And I can't really hear very well either. They hired me, and they taught me all kinds of stuff. They taught me print production and graphic design. They sent me to classes. They bought a specialized handset so that I could hear, because I could turn up the volume on it. Years later, I went like, why did you guys hire me? They go, you were the best person that came in. I'm like, that's fucking frightening. But yeah, so I'm learning a new skill set, and you know, I'm focused on that, so it's not quite as intense. And you know, you kind of, when people keep telling you you're fine even though you're in a fog, life goes on, right? So as life goes on, the pedestrian things enter like needing to go to the dentist. So I went to the dentist, and he's like, oh, you need to have your wisdom teeth out. I'm like, really? Because they don't hurt or anything. He's like, no, you need to have your wisdom teeth out. In hindsight, I think this dentist gave me a lot of fillings I didn't actually need. But he's like, yeah, but you're in luck. My cousin from the South, he's just moved to San Francisco, and he's got availability next week. He can fit you in. I'm like, cousin from the South, is he cute? Is he maybe a little bit Matthew McConaughey? Could I add him to my harem? All right. Yeah, I'll go see him. Set your own stage? I just claimed painkillers or something. Hello, Miss Colery. Wait, let me try that again. Hello, Miss Colery. Hello, handsome dentist man. I'm an oral surgeon, Miss Colery. Please sit down. Okay. We're going to give you a local. A local what, handsome dentist man? Oral surgeon. Sorry, anesthetic. Okay. And then add in the Demerol. What's that? It's a light sedative. For what? Your record says you feel too much. Oh, I do. And so it's important that you're anesthetized. But I have a concussion. I had a head injury. Well, when was your concussion? 3 months ago, 6, I'm not really sure. Oh, that's fine. You just sit back, relax, think happy thoughts. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, oh, everybody's laughing, and the sun comes shining through. But when you're crying, you bring out the rain. So stop that crying and start smiling again. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles, the whole world smiles, the whole world smiles if you just smile, though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your pain and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your days with gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you gotta keep on smiling. Smile, what's the use in crying? You will see that life is still worthwhile if you just make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. Make one heart the heart you cling to. One smile that cheers you, one face that lights when it nears you. Someone you're real if you just smile.
Yeah!
Miss Colery, Miss Colery. Yes, businessman. Oral search, oh, never mind. Wake up, it's over. Really? Yes, you'll be smiling again in no time. I don't feel so well. It's normal, you're normal. I'm dizzy, I can't see. It's okay, it's just the Demerol lingering. You'll be fine. But I'm really not fine. Can I interest you in some clonazepam? No, Effexor, paracetamol. Codeine, doxycycline, tramadol, ciprofloxacin, methyltrexate, excedrin, diclofenac, atoracoxib, cephalexin, aspirin, ibuprofen, phenylalanine, lansoprazole. Yeah, so basically, they added a bunch of drugs to the already existing brain soup. It stopped any healing that was going on and just sent my body into a tailspin. I was having physical anxiety attacks, not like emotional, but it was like, I felt like it was crawling out of my skin. And I would get tunnel vision and then faint, and tunnel vision and then faint, and then tunnel vision and then faint. And I remember the accident, I felt really crappy. And then I had kind of not really clocked that I was feeling a little bit better, but I was focused on my new job, and things were muddling along, and I guess I was feeling a bit better. And then this happened, it was like, I was out of my mind feeling like shit. All of the worst bits of the original accident came back, and a few other things where I'm just feeling crappy. But the doctors kept saying, oh, it'll wear off, that'll wear off, the Demerol will wear off, you're fine, nothing's wrong, nothing's wrong. And at a certain point, you get tired of like trying to tell people that something's not right because no one's listening. So I did my best to self-medicate with a lot of red wine and a fuck ton of sex. And I could do that because I have a harem. I don't know where I got this malady. Sometimes life's gears crash in calamity. Get me out of my head, get me out of my mind. Touch me and love me to a place of love. Touchy-feely, analgesic for my emotional flow. I need a touchy-feely analgesic for my emotional flow. I don't need no pill to make me numb. I don't need a drink or frivolous fun. I need the slow patient hand of a doctor of love to channel help from above. Touchy-feely, analgesic for my emotional flow. I need a touchy-feely analgesic for my emotional flow. Draw me back into myself with your fabulous, wonderful world. If I can feel it, see it, touch it, and breathe it, I might believe that I'm well. Dance sequence. Okay, this is when you're... Now I know what I'm feeling is real, though it's just 2 days notable. There's no reason or answer or way out, so just touch me, oh, oh, oh. Touchy-feely, analgesic for my emotional flow. I need a touchy-feely analgesic for my emotional best to take as good a care of myself as I possibly could. But things happen, and like like when celebrity guys in threes, like when something shitty happens to you, then like a few other shitty things happen, you're just like, holy crappy-oly. Not that this was necessarily shitty at the time, but I had a new boyfriend, and he was like, he articulated everything about me that I thought was fabulous, and because I thought I'd lost my spark and my intellect and my talent and all that, it like, listening to him was like a drug. I was like intoxicated by what he was telling me. And that's not the bad thing. The bad thing is he also sort of was hanging out with my best friend quite a lot. And I kept saying, guys, that's kind of weird that you're hanging out. It kind of make me feel uncomfortable. And I talked to her, I'm like, makes me feel uncomfortable. She's like, no, he's just got a car. I just want to hang out with him so he can drive me places. I'm like, okay. But then my car got broken into and a bag got stolen that had my adult retainer in it. And not that that's a huge big deal, but I only got braces to get rid of the space between my front two teeth. Great divide. And also, my sister on my dad's side called my sister on my mom's side and said my dad was dying and he wanted to see me. I didn't even know he was sick. They told, my mom and my sister on my mom's side, told my sister on my dad's side, I didn't care that he was dying and didn't want to see him. So before I got a chance to go back to see him 2 days before he died. And it was just kind of one of those things where I was really, really struggling because in normal circumstances that would be hard, but you add on how I was feeling from the drug soup that was going on, and like my boyfriend and my girlfriend, best friend, like it was just meh. I just felt meh. And they said, you know what, you should go to your therapist, the psychiatrist, and see if they can't give you some medication for that anxiety you're having. And my boyfriend was also seeing the same therapist, psychiatrist. Unethical much? Trust issues with legal professionals? Yeah. So I went to her and she's like, oh yeah, we're gonna give you some Effexor. So I remember leaving her office, getting the prescription filled, taking the pill, getting on the bus. And all of a sudden this medication kicks in and I have a wraparound headache that is excruciating. It feels like my brain is peeling off. The aliens are invading and I'm like, holy crap, I know I'm the poster child for side effects. Maybe my brain's gonna explode. I was absolutely terrified. I get home, I call the psychiatrist, she's not there, so I decide to call the local drug dealer who is also bipolar because I figured he'd know. And he's like, well, didn't you just go to the dentist? Did they give you any like painkillers or calm you down? I'm like, yeah, I've got some, stuff. He goes, take that, calm your shit down. So I took it, I got calm. I'm like, okay. I got on the medication. But then it was though I lost touch with the world. I could no longer read people. They were there, they were smiling, but are they actually happy? They're there, they're frowning, but are they actually sad? It was that last little link that I had with humanity. I was in the fog already, but then you take away any empathy you might have. Fucking terrifying. I was like, oh my God, this is really shit. But I'd stopped doing the tunnel vision faint thing. So my best friend and my boyfriend were like, oh, you're so much better. Oh, this is so much better. You're so much better. Because I'm completely off my rocker and I'm not questioning you guys anymore. Anyway. Life goes on. People keep telling me I'm fine, so I'm like, well, I'm fucking fine then. I'm gonna have my Christmas caroling party. I had my caroling party for like 14 years. It was amazing. I made hot buttered rum, butternut squash too, lots of singers, lots of musicians. We go out around the neighborhood, 4-part harmony, and as a result of being so awesome at our caroling, we would get all kinds of cookies, cakes, and a shed ton of alcohol. So once we could no longer sing in harmony and we're barely struggling with the melody, we'd go back to my place and people would like either fall asleep on the floor or leave or whatever. So at the end of the party, my boyfriend and my best friend leave together. And then I took an entire bottle of clonazepam. And then somebody must have checked on me because I ended up in an ambulance going to San Francisco General. And I didn't have to have my stomach pumped, but I did have to drink charcoal. And then I was on a 72-hour psych hold. And in San Francisco General, that's like dire. But then they found out I worked for Trademark Graphics, so I had Cadillac insurance, so they could move me to the posh crazy house. So they moved me to the posh place in Pacific Heights. And I remember walking in, because now it's the next day, the alcohol's worn off, and I've had my stomach pumped, everything, and so I walk in and I'm like, ooh, it's mauve. It's very mauve. And I said, look, I really shouldn't be here. I just had a reaction to the medication. Well, honey, you should have thought about that before you took that whole bottle of pills. I'm like, holy Christ, Nurse Ratchet, fuck. And I'm like, yeah, I shouldn't. Well, you should have thought about that. You're gonna have to stay here overnight. And I'm I have a private room. I'm in a posh place. And I'm looking at the screen on the window thinking, can I pop that sucker off and escape? So she said I was going to have to be in front of a panel of doctors the next morning, and they were going to ask me some questions to see whether or not I was a suicide risk. Meanwhile, there's people screaming about oatmeal and not being able to use the microwave in the room. I'm like, oh my God, these people are really, really crazy. I just want out of here. And I'm crawling out of my skin, and I'm doing yoga in my room trying to chill myself out. I'm like, okay, I've got to pass this audition for my sanity. Okay, what's my objective? I'm going to have to audition for these doctors, and I'm going to have to convince them that I'm not suicidal. Okay, objective, get the fuck out of here. How am I going to do that? Oh, maybe if they think I'm ambitious, they'll think I'm not suicidal. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I've got my audition piece set. You guys can be the doctors. Ever since I was a baby, I have had one dream in mind. And each Christmas, I think maybe it will finally come true. It's a simple wish that everyone has had from time to time. So I know you'll understand me when I share my dream with you. I want to be rich, famous, and powerful. Step on all my enemies and never do a thing. I want to be rich, famous, and powerful. So all I have to do in life is sit around and sing. I don't want to work, struggle, or compromise. When I set a goal, I want to reach it right away, because paying your dues, that's just for other guys. For me, I want what I want, and I want it all today. I don't want to audition. I don't want to take class. I want to be discovered while I'm sitting on my ass. I should not have to struggle. I should not have to sweat. I tried that for like 10 minutes, and look, what did I get? I'm still not rich, famous, or powerful. Barbara Streisand has it all, and I can do what she can do, so why is she rich, famous, and powerful? Well, I'm still stuck here schlepping through my life like all of you. What does it take to be famous and powerful? Santa, if you're listening, please tell me what to do. What do I have to fake to be famous and powerful? I've done everything that I can do. The rest is up to you. I tried being good. I tried being nice. I even tried pretending I was listening once or twice. But the really big stars have all made it without it. Was Betty Davis sweet? I seriously doubt it. She was rich. Everyone adored her, and the world was at her feet, and she was a bitch. It's clear that I have gotten nowhere being sweet. Now, I know I should be thankful for the blessings that I've got. There are those who truly worship me, and starving, I am not. And I suppose good friends and family and health count for a lot. But I have to admit, all that doesn't mean shit if I'm not rich, famous, and powerful. Oh, come on, don't be so shocked. You know you feel the same as I. If we were rich, famous, and powerful, we could take all those agents and casting directors, tiny apartments and back tax collectors, chilly rehearsal halls, critics and casting calls, people who bore us, and jobs and a chorus, and kiss them all goodbye. Oh, is that too much to ask? Needless to say, I escaped my one flew over the cuckoo's nest rush with institutionalization. Good thing too, because if I wasn't working and I had to go to a state facility, that would be dire. No insurance, you know, it is one flew over the cuckoo's nest. Anywho, I got out of there and I realized that, holy moly, no one's gonna take care of me but me. My best friend, my boyfriend, the doctors, the nurses, my family, there's just nobody really looking out for me, so I gotta look out for myself. And I decided to do a lot of education, and this is like really before the internet took off. Yeah, I'm that old. And I found a book called Prozac Nation, and I read that, and then I started looking at healthy healing books and looking at my symptoms and looking at the supplements that they suggested. And there's no guidance, I just started power taking some of them that didn't have any, effects if you take a lot. So yeah, power taking supplements. About 3 months later, the fog peeled away from my brain, and like I'm back. And then the fog peeled away a little bit more, and then I'm back. Then the fog peeled away a little bit more, and I'm like, I'm sort of back. I can talk fast again. But instead of my brain going back like that, it kind of went more like that. I was kind of fundamentally different and changed. When I'd been like audacious and just going out there, suddenly I was doing a lot of research before I made a move. Still making moves, but doing a lot of research. I don't like loud noises behind me. I don't like being in a crowd. In front of a crowd, no problem. But in a crowd, not so much. Clothing bothers me. Like my socks are on inside out so that the seam's not on my toes. And my ability to focus depends entirely about how much I'm invested. Like, are there famous people involved in this project? Or are they people that I respect and I want to admire and do that? How tight is the deadline? I can show up for that. I have to-do lists, and I stick the main thing in the middle because I know that the stuff at the top is not going to get done. And I also know that I'm better when I'm having an adventure. Like, I need to be right out of my comfort zone just to show up. And at the same time, I get overwhelmed by people, so I need to be home alone by myself quite a lot as well. So it's like these little... But as having an adventure would be, I moved from San Francisco to New York. I found a fabulous PR guy, Irv Rabel, who's the impresario of cabaret. He'd owned all the clubs at one point. Best friends with Liza. Liza said, you know what? You talk too fast. I was like, really? She goes, you sing really well, you talk too fast. I have the same problem. I'm like, thanks, Liza, as we're smoking outside Birdland on 44th Street. But yeah, I had amazing, amazing experiences in New York. But no matter what I did, I always felt like I was 5 years behind because that fog lasted for 5 years. And I always felt like, yeah, great, but I could have been a contender. You know, so you're always just, everything's like, yeah, that's great, but. And then I kind of, you know, have had relationships, but they've all been pretty shitty. And I found a good boyfriend, but he was really boring. If I'm fair, honest. But so there's a little kernel in there where, you know, I keep trying to do stuff, and I think of myself as awesome sometimes, but not really. But there's just a little kernel of me that I think that perhaps I'm unlovable because I'm just such a freaking weirdo. I'm a bit unstable, she said with a Cheshire grin. So many cracks in my sidewalk, boy. Well, don't you fall in. Feels like the things that I've wanted the most in this life I can't have. So you see, I've been damning the world before it damns me. She said I'm naked and shameless, peeling back the layers like an onion, girl. Don't try to save me, just stay away, 'cause I might make you cry like an onion, girl. Like an onion, girl. Second grade playground, I still haven't the nerve. Fear is under my skin like St. Anthony's fire, and I can't stand the burn. So it's break a little bread, have a little laugh. I haven't laughed for a while, and it's a long road back to the womb tonight. She said I'm naked and shameless, peeling back the layers like an onion, girl. Don't try to save me, just stay away, 'cause I might make you cry like an onion, girl. Naked and shameless, peeling back the layers like an onion, girl. Dance break. like an onion girl. Don't try to save me, just stay away, 'cause I might make you cry. Like an onion girl, naked and shameless, peeling back the layers like an onion girl. Oh, like an onion girl. Onion girl. Like an onion girl. Like an onion girl. Yeah, so one of these things, I've always had a day job because after the fog peeled off, I was like, oh, should I go back to my regular singing gig? Wedding gigs, day job. Wedding gigs, day job. Fucking hate wedding gigs, day job. So I've always done both. I've had like the professional career and I've had a big musical career on the side, or big-ish. And I've done both, but that also because I've split my brain into two different directions, because you know, society likes people who specialize. I've always felt a little bit like an imposter at the day job, and what that meant during the pandemic is when they asked us to work like 10, 12-hour days, I did. And then when we were starting to go back at the office, they still wanted us to work that many hours, except that we had to commute as well. So I ended up a little bit burnt out in 2022. And in December of 2022, my best friend in the UK died. 2 days later, my boyfriend and I broke up. 2 days after that, a variety show I'd been performing in for 10 years in London, they lost their venue, and I was like, okay, that's a pylon. Where are you going to pivot to now? The universe is going, you need to change your shit up. Oh yeah, remember that? You need to take care of yourself again. So I went back to work. It was still a shit show. I quit the job, and I thought, I'll take a few months off, and I will be able to get back to work no problem, because I've never had a problem getting a job. No, not the case. 2023 was a really tough job market. So I thought, let me up-level my skills. I work in comms and communication advertising. I need to up-level my social media skills. I hadn't been on TikTok because that came into fruition while I was at the last job of 6 years. I kind of didn't want to go on TikTok because I was really afraid it would eat my brain. And it did. But holy moly, that algorithm. ADHD, you've got symptoms for ADHD. Brain trauma. They have protocols for that shit now. They don't tell you nothing's wrong. They actually give you therapy. That ended up being my job at Trademark Graphics. And then they're like, oh, Gen X trauma, and like la 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 la, and oh, here are the supplements that we recommend for ADHD. I'm already taking them. Here's what we recommend for brain health. I'm already taking them. I just had this epiphany of like, holy fucking Christ, I am really weird. I'm neurospicy. Yeah! It's a thing. My life has been challenging because it's like a real thing. No matter what I've done, it's like, oh yeah, you are a big fat fucking weirdo. But it just, now I think I'm awesome and amazing because look, I figured out all this shit on my own. I don't really feel that way. But what it did was it gave me the space to talk about this situation, because up until now, I felt like I was still suffering the effects of those 5 years in a fog, and I felt embarrassed because I didn't think that I had done enough or arrived where I needed to be from a creative standpoint or fame standpoint or whatever standpoint. Whatever it was, I hadn't arrived there. So I decided to tell the story. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm awesome now, just a little bit maybe. But this is kind of a society where they reward you for specialist things, and I do a bunch of everything. Jack of all trades, master of none. No, me, I am a master jack. Just saying. But it's really hard in this society because unless you're being rewarded financially, you can't know that you're good at anything. So I'm just saying on the way out, if you wanted to give me a tenner, that would really help out a lot for me and my self-actualization. And they paid $15 for previews in London, and I'd be happy with a tenner or a fiver, or I have a card reader. I can give you flyers if you like that you want to give it to somebody you like, or if you really hated the show, take a flyer, give it to your worst enemy, and say, that was awesome. Yeah, and then I can emotionally blackmail them into giving me money. I'll make it worse. Just tell me who they are. I might even lap dance them. We don't know. We have to wait till the angle gets to that. And anyway, I just want to say thank you for coming out. And I've got Olaf, who's my jazz tech, who follows me. Clay was on the bar earlier. And then there are all of you guys, because you're an awesome and amazing audience. Thank you very much. You literally have thousands of shows you can see, and you're in my audience. I am so overwhelmed with joy. Thank you for being here. And I'll be out there for money. And I've got one more song, and I'll sing you, and then I'll be out there, and then yay! Squirrel. ADHD, squirrel. Lights, squirrel. And Teflon brain, so I can cheat with lyrics here. Here we go. Doctor, my eyes have seen the years and the slow parade of fears without crying. Now I want to understand. I have done all that I could to see the evil and the good without hiding. You must help me if you can. Doctor, my eyes, tell me what is wrong. Was I unwise to leave them open for so long? Dance break. 'Cause I have wandered through this world, and as each moment has unfurled, I've been waiting to awaken from these dreams. People go just where they will. I never noticed them until I got this feeling that it's later than it seems. Doctor, my eyes, tell me what you see. I hear their cries. Just say if it's too late for me. Yeah, it's not too late for me. It's not too late for you either. And you guys can, like, you know, be ambitious achievers today. And go see a bunch of shows. And I'm going to meander out there because it's going to take me a while. So I'm going to bow and then go out. Thank you for coming.
I thought as well, how's this going to work? It's not like a like audience.
What, did it look great on your fridge? Does that look yeah, so like the guy who fixed and shining.
Just what?
Thanks for bringing another crowd, baby. Oh, I got euros. Got euros and money. That's all right. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Cigarettes. If you guys want to go up and have a drink, are you gonna go up?
Yeah.
It's for the local time. Okay. Yeah. I need to change my clothes, see how I'm doing, and I've got commitment issues. Oh, hi.
Hello.
Oh, sorry. Oh, thank you.
Not a clue. I found it this morning.
If you wouldn't mind passing that on to us, yeah, just tell them that
Yeah, probably.
You don't have to go up the staircase, but you have to get hit the knee knocker. But anyway, good. Thank you so much. Bye. Sure. I'm in technology. Thank you. Enjoy your blue ride.
What part of Ireland are you from?
My dad was in court, so I've only spent a small bit of time in court. What was it? Which one here? Thank you.
I am from Ireland.
Oh, voilà. Yeah, no, I basically, my family moved to California when I was young, and my mom's family's from Holland.
Yes.
They lived in Canada. Yeah. So I've got, like,
Yep,
that's-
as soon as I come back to the bathroom.
yeah.
Really?
Well, did I already give you one of these? Take two. Give them to people. Tell them you love it. Go, Mike. Oh, sorry. That was really forward. Thank you so much. You guys were a great audience. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, yesterday was really rough, with the ankle. But, yeah, I'm not recommending it. I've already been to the hospital 3 times. I didn't want to make it a 4th yesterday. I didn't, so I didn't. I need to get my stuff. My inner 20-year-old trying to kill me. Thanks, Chloe.
Yeah?
Were you here yesterday?
Yeah, but I was upstairs.
Oh, okay. That's what I was gonna say.